Yes, this is Senate Bill 275. The purpose of this bill is to require cursive handwriting in our schools. It's a pretty straightforward bill in that it asks that cursive be introduced by 3rd grade and continually practiced till 12th grade. I'm glad to take any questions.
Senator Claytor, you had a question?
Oh, come on, Dan. Don't do it. No amendment.
Senator Mizell, I wasn't 100% sure, but I think this is your first bill. Am I correct on that?
I'm happy to say it is my first.
I got a note from the side, but I can't read the handwriting. So I can't tell if they're in favor or against your bill, but I do want to congratulate you in that frequently I get notes at committee and on the floor and I can't read them.
And you know cursive, don't you?
And I know cursive. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Senator Claytor. Any other questions?
Senator Chabot?
Be nice. Be nice.
Senator Mizell, you know, I'm not the youngest person in the body, but I'm one of the younger members. Can you explain to me again, what is cursive?
Cursive is the fancy squiggles you see on the bottom of papers that we call signatures. I think yours is one of those I've seen.
My mother did say I had a handwriting that should get me to medical school, but that didn't work out that way.
Thank you, Senator Chabert.
Senator,
Anybody
Senator
else?
Peacock?
Share Bear.
Bear.
I'm from Franklinton.
Okay, so is this going to teach kids how to type too, or is it just going to be cursive, or how's it work?
The kids already know how to type.
Is it called typing? Is that called typing now in schools, or exactly how is it done?
I'm not worried about the kids learning how to type. I think that they are almost born learning how to type on their mama's phone. This is strictly to teach them how to use this and this.
Are you saying we're going to start using more paper then instead of going to paperless? Is that what you're encouraging us to do, is sort of use more paper in our state?
I should have promoted that. There is a paper mill in my district, you know. Yeah, I missed that opportunity at committee. I could have really pushed that. Yes, I want a child to know how to have a signature, to know how to write cursive, and to know how to read cursive. It's a very basic wish list included in this bill.
Could I get a demonstration of your signature on this page for historical purposes, please? Thank you, Senator.
Thank you. Thank you. Question?
Senator Pell?
You know, Senator Mizell, aren't you a farmer?
I am a farmer, but we write.
What is it that a farmer writes?
Checks.
Checks. So you pay your taxes in Louisiana?
I do. Yes. Thank you. Thank you.
And you do when you write these checks, are they in large denominations? Because some farmers, I know there's a couple of farmers back here that are yeah, pretty wealthy.
Yeah. Yes. Thank you. You're free when once you know how to write. You're able to write absolutely anything that comes to mind.
Well, do you know if the ancients used to write in cursive, or what did they used to write in?
I really didn't research the ancients. I only went back as far as maybe Thomas Jefferson. But there's lots of benefits of cursive, you know. Your right and left brain work at the same time.
Don't you know a lot of folks think that our brains never work around here?
I've noticed that.
You've noticed that. Okay. Well, I mean, in Latin, in the Roman days, they didn't use cursive, and they did pretty well. I mean, the Roman Empire lasted 1,000 or 2,000 years. Why do we need cursive? And they didn't even have cursive.
I wasn't there in the Roman days, but I think there are things that we want to maintain, even though we've still got options. We've given ourselves options. This is just an option.
So, you mean you're going to send a kid to school and you're going to say, you got to learn cursive, but it's optional? So I don't understand what your bill does. If either the kid's going to learn cursive or the kid's not going to learn cursive, is that optional?
You know, we send kids to school to learn algebra. We don't use algebra every day, but we know we've got it when we need it. This is a tool in the toolbox to fully educate our children so that when they leave school, they have an option. Right now, a lot of children have no option. They don't know what cursive is.
So do lawyers use cursive?
I don't have any contact with lawyers.
Well, you're lucky because I do. And they usually use typewriters and it's not cursive, and it costs about, I think they charge you by the letter. But anyway, congratulations. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Y'all are so much fun.
Senator Cortez? Question?
Thank you, Mr. President. And I'm asking a question that that actually has to do with the bill. How many parishes are not currently teaching cursive writing? How many school districts?
I believe it's optional in every school district right now, according to what was told from the Department of Education. They have the curriculum material. They give it to the teachers, and it's an option for the school system. Some school systems are more specific than others about it.
And the bill, the fiscal note says that there's a cost, but it's indeterminable. Is that because this is a local mandate that if they're not teaching it, that's going to? What's the cost? What are they basing that cost on?
We ran the fiscal note because we weren't sure if most school districts had the materials already provided to the teachers, and from what that's the questionable part of the fiscal note, is that most school districts now do provide curriculum materials just for the classroom to have. The teacher then determines whether she's going to actually use the curriculum materials.
Okay, so likely that most districts won't incur a cost. Okay, thank you. And
right.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Brown? Senator Brown, you had a question?
Look at where you're sitting.
Senator, how are you? Can you give us some history? History normally tells us a lot about the realities of right now. Give us the history as to why our school systems got to where it wasn't as important to teach cursive writing.
Common Core.
What is that?
I don't believe Common Core mandated cursive in the school curriculum, so that's when things shifted.
Do you also know that when they implemented a lot of those changes that you call Common Core, they also didn't emphasize spelling like it was done back in my days, or probably your days as well?
I haven't looked into spelling, but since I've been known to get in people's business, maybe I'll look into spelling and bring that up. I have had the suggestion to make an amendment on this bill to have students learn how to make change. So those basic skills are what's missing. I agree.
Is it your position that a child that comes out of high school that cannot write in cursive will have some limitations as far as a career choice?
I don't know if they'll have a career choice limitation. I know they've missed an opportunity in the way they learn, in the way that they can develop the learning process as an individual. And also we limit their individuality when they don't have a signature, and when they're not able to develop a cursive style and use it as they wish. They may never want to use it again, but they know they can do it if they want to do it.
Did you know many of us who learn to write in cursive still do not write in cursive?
We may need to remediate that. Thank you, Senator Brown.
All right. Senator Bishop, you had a question?
You gotta be nice. You gotta be.
Good. Thank you, Senator. And actually, I'm not here to actually to state a question, but actually to make a statement. And one that when I first saw this particular bill, I thought it was a fantastic bill. I have children that are 2 and 6 years old, don't you know? And I did not know that while they were in elementary school that they did not know how to write in cursive. And I was actually kind of appalled by that. So you actually brought this to light. So while you're in a part of being hazed or a part of your first bill, I wanted to come down and just publicly commend you because I think it's a good bill.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you. I see no more questions. I
Senator
asked for
Chabot, you got a question?
Oh.
Come on now.
one more. Oh,
He's under the stealth. He doesn't push his button.
I wanted to get on this side so I could be in the pictures that Senator Hewitt's taking. No, but serious. So this is your first bill that made it to the floor, correct?
yes. Yes, it is.
But it's your second bill that deals with trying to stop the removal of something, correct?
Actually, this doesn't stop the removal of anything. This is actually an addition.
I was just checking about the pattern I'm seeing evolve.
Thank you, I think.
All right. For the floor, Senator Gaddy.
I'm in support of your bill. Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you, Senator Mizell. Yeah, I know it's written in cursive. That's the point. I wrote my notes in cursive. Beth Mizell has a very important bill here today. Some of our greatest documents in history were written in Italian italics.
Hold on, Senator Gaddy. Senator Mizell, you have to give him 5-yard rule.
5 yard. Thank you. That was kind of intimidating. All right. The greatest documents in the history of man were written in cursive. Cursive. Think about it. The Magna Carta, that's right. The Magna Carta. And when Abraham Lincoln wrote the Gettysburg Address, he was thinking about the Magna Carta. And he could have written it in any way he wanted to, but he chose cursive. He didn't use his iPhone. Abraham Lincoln didn't use his iPad. He didn't use Siri's dictation app. He took out the old quill pen, stopped his buggy, and he wrote the Gettysburg Address in cursive on a train. Train, Senator Chabot, not his buggy. The Constitution of our United States, cursive. The Louisiana Purchase, cursive, French and American. American. I can't read the next one because I wrote it in cursive. But our children need to be able to read and write, not just in Siri language, not just from their iPhone. They need to take a pen and put it on paper and write in cursive. So I stand today in support of this bill. I had another part written, but I wrote it in cursive. I can't read it. But if you're American and you believe in those documents that I just talked about, the Magna Carta, the Constitution, the Articles of Confederation, the Louisiana Purchase, all those documents were written by men and women, and they could have written them in print, they could have written it in crayon, but they chose cursive because cursive is the way we connect great ideas to paper. Thank you, Senator Mizell.
I yield. Any questions, Senator Gaddy? Senator Lambert, you have a question?
Questions? You got to tell me who's coming, though.
When was the Magna Carta written?
Was it 1605? Is it close? That was Magna Carta. Let me ask Siri real quick.
Well, let's do an easy one. What about the Declaration of Independence?
1776.
Did they have typewriters then?
You know, I don't know. If they would have had a typewriter and a computer and a quill pen, they would have chose a quill pen.
All right, that's what I just wanted to make sure.
All right. Dr. Thompson, you got a question? You familiar with those dates?
Dr. Gaddy, you don't have to look that up. I know this is not your first bill, but I've got a few of my colleagues in here today. One standing in the middle of the hall. He has never seen the Magna Carta. Could you give me a couple of copies so I would like to give them out?
Sure.
That'd be all right with you?
You want originals?
The rigid, they won't know the difference.
Do you want them typewritten or in cursive?
We like it in cursive for him.
We can do cursive. This is America. This is America.
Don't get him started. He'll lose some more teeth.
1215, June the 15th, 1215. The Magna Carta, written in, Wikipedia says, cursive. I'm sorry.
All right.
Thank you. Thank you for bringing this bill,
thank you.
Senator Mizell.
Senator Mizell, you have a right to close on your bill.
I ask for favorable passage. Thank you so much.
All right, the lady has moved final passage. When the machines are open, those in favor will vote yes. Those opposed, no. Secretary, open machines. Woo. Senator Tarver, yes. All right, close them up, please. 37 yeas, no nays. Bill to final passage. Reconsider vote. Let the motion. Objection.